You remember you saw Queen of the Ring, that outstanding silver screen motion picture that I was involved in, Brian, and Al Haft was played by your friend and mine, old Martin Cove, that was in The Karate Fella.
The Biter.
The Biter. He's a very nice man. I'm sure I apologized genuinely and meant it. He was hungry. You know, when you're sitting there signing autographs all day, you get peckish. But anyway, he played Al Haft. I have a letter here to Jack Pfefer from the real Al Haft. Would you like to hear how the real Al Haft spoke?
Yeah.
On February 2nd, 1949. Dear friend Jack, your letter to hand yesterday, so I'm getting a few lines off to you this afternoon. Just talked to Sam Muchnick. He tells me that Thez and Gorgeous had a big house in St. Louis. Looks like the fans want spectacular shows and showmen. The old days of wrestling are out and looks like they will not return for a long time indeed. Some things never change. He continues, yes, I think you are right about selling Buddy as the nature boy. We will do that all along the line, as it sure looks like the public wants the old hunkus junkus. Now, first, the hunkus junkus. He says, who the hell, but he censors it, H-L. Are we not to give them what they want? Buddy can get along on legitimate wrestling, but with the old hunkus junkus, we can no doubt do better as per the Gorgeous line of action. So he's talking about a gimmick. Pfefer has pitched Al Haft, who would later on be one of the most important people in Rogers' career. Rogers was based there. He booked there. He had his crew of talent in and out of there. And this is Pfefer having just pitched Al Haft on giving Rogers the gimmick of the nature boy. And Al Haft is still like, yeah, all this fucking modern fucking hunkus junkus. But listen to this, because this was also about when they were ready to reopen wrestling in Madison Square Garden. In early 1949, that's when we just talked about last week, they opened with Gorgeous George and it bombed. And then they came back at the end of the year with Rocca and they sold out and turned them away. Well, Haft is saying there's a lot of bad publicity coming out of New York. Whenever they open the Garden, it gets national publicity, and on wrestling, it's not good. So with the old hocus pocus going into the Garden, we can look for a lot of vaudeville stories out of New York. Every time that again, there would try to be a revival in New York, the press would revive all of the gaga about it, and it would do bad, it would spread and do bad business in some of the other markets.
And that was Pfefer, though. That was one of the people that got it going in the press with that stuff.
Well, but that was 15 years before that. But he continues, Joe Williams had a lousy story on the UP wire a couple of days back. It gave wrestling a bad break. Guess I'll have to find a big Eastern trust to give them a lot of hell. This way it takes the mind off of us out here in the sticks. We'll make every effort to go along with Buddy around here, and I know we'll get the job done. So,
wow.
Again, Al Haft, an old timer, but he's knocking Gorgeous George, but he would end up making a fortune with Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.